What's going on, YouTube? It's Single Digits coming with your Friday video. So I want to take a few seconds just to apologize. I have been severely under the weather. My allergies this spring have been terrible. Well, I think we're almost past spring or getting to the end of spring. Either way, the pollen has been horrendous and I have been sniffling, sneezing, feeling like my head's in a cloud or a vice or both. So I apologize ahead of time if I'm sound weird or I'm too sniffly. But I did want to release a video. Maybe it's going to be a little bit shorter. I don't know. I'm just going to record it and post it for you guys. And I might have some more coming up later in the middle of the week next week just to play some catch up. But I did want to release something today. So I wanted to talk about the upcoming UFC cards. I know the last video I posted there wasn't a lot of news coming in the month of May, but June just had some big announcements July had some big announcements because July is International Fight Week. So I think it's like the 8th. Hold on. It would be, the 7th, 8th, and 9th is going to be like their big event where the UFC in Vegas, has a bunch of open weigh-in or open workouts and stuff like that. You can go meet the fighters and yada, yada, yada. So it's their big celebration every year. But besides that, we have a couple cards that are pretty interesting. So I just wanted to go through and analyze. I'll give like a quick predictions, like early reactions mostly. But yeah. So we'll start with the UFC 290, which is going to be on July 8th. And this is headlined by Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez. And this is going to be an interesting fight. Yair Rodriguez won the interim featherweight belt, while Alexander Volkanovski was off fighting Islam Makhachev, which I feel like he won. But anyway, besides that, quick prediction. I think Alexander Volkanovski takes this. This is the baddest man at 145. Arguably the only person that, comes close to him is Max Holloway, and he beat him. He's ahead on their trilogy. That fight doesn't look like, a fourth fight doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon. It really broke my heart, but Alexander Volkanovski has really won me over. He's really tough. Yair Rodriguez, he's very good too, but man, I don't think he has anything to offer Alexander Volkanovski. This is MMA. Anything can happen. Yair Rodriguez is a wild, dynamic striker. Very, very interesting, especially when he's comfortable and he's in his flow and he opens up. He can be supremely dangerous on his feet. However, Volkanovski has been through the gamut. He's fought Max Holloway. He's fought Islam Makhachev. He's fought, what's his face there? Brian Ortega. This guy is, I don't know. He's super, super tough. I think a few more solid wins for Alexander Volkanovski, and it puts him very securely in the GOAT discussion. People argue that he's in the GOAT discussion already, and I could totally go along with that. But he's definitely right there. So the next fight on the card, I'm not going to go through every single fight, but Brandon Moreno, the flyweight champ, versus Alexandre Pantoja. This is their second fight. Let's just go through real quick, but I believe that he already holds one win over him. Oh no, it's a loss. Okay, so he lost a unanimous decision. So this is an interesting fight. Let's look at Alexandre Pantoja. Neck crank, submission. So very good, decent fighter. We're not going to do any MMA math here. 25 wins, 5 losses, 8 wins by knockout, 10 by submission. Very good submission guy. Interesting fight. I don't really have a, I'll have a better analysis getting closer to this one. So I'm not going to make a prediction here. I would just like Brandon Moreno to win. I like the guy. He's funny. He's super into Legos, which is weird. Well, it's not weird. Everybody has their thing. I think it's very interesting, though. He's really funny, down to earth, awesome dude. I'd like to see him hold on to that belt. Next, we have Robert Whittaker versus Dricus du Plessis. Now, this is a weird fight, and I understand why they did it. I don't agree with it. So, with Izzy Adesanya having won his middleweight belt back from Pereira, UFC's kind of running out of matches for him because he's kind of lapped the division. He already fought Robert Whittaker twice and beat him both times. Everybody else in the division he's kind of fought and beat. Dricus du Plessis, this guy's an up-and-comer. He's tried to make some, noise and create some backstory drama because he's from South Africa. He, claims I'm the actual African here, not you, Izzy. Izzy is Nigerian, but raised in New Zealand and Auckland and yeah. So anyway, there's that, which I think is goofy. I think it's dumb. I mean, okay, you're African, you're from South Africa, fine, but I don't think that is anything to sell a fight over, especially since he's pretty new still to the UFC. I wouldn't say like new, but he hasn't fought a lot of people. I mean, okay, let's see. Marcus Perez, Brad Tavares, Darren Till, that would have been a great win, but like Darren Till was already on the way out. And Darren Till was doing okay until that face crank came. Derek Brunson, that was a solid win. That's a solid win from Derek Brunson. TKO. Whittaker's a different animal, though. I mean, Whittaker, I think, has only lost to Izzy Adesanya. Everybody else in the middle. So he's another situation where it's like, if Izzy's number one, Robert Whittaker's number two. I like Robert Whittaker a lot. I think he's an awesome guy. I would be happy if he won. I do really enjoy Izzy Adesanya, so like this is a hard one for me. But anyway, so this fight is probably going to be setting up the next challenger for Izzy. The only problem is I don't know if Robert Whittaker, even if he wins, I don't know if he gets it. Because there's another fight happening. So we'll talk about that real quick. But I think more likely if Dricus wins this, du Plessis wins this, I think he gets the title shot versus Izzy. I don't know if that's the same if Robert Whittaker wins. I'm going to make a bet on this. I think Robert Whittaker wins. Like I said, if it's not Izzy, Robert Whittaker wins. He beats you. He's just, he's that good. He just, unfortunately, can't get the job done against Izzy. So, yeah. Let's keep going down. Let's see. What else do we have here? Sorry. Loading. All right. Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker. This is an interesting fight. Man, I'd really like to see Dan Hooker win, but again, he's kind of had some rough luck, and he's just coming off of, he has his last win here, but, like he's got a lot of losses. I mean, he was on a tear and then, just kind of started alternating like these losses. I mean, and they're not. The competition isn't like, it's low. It's Dustin Poirier, it's Michael Chandler, it's Islam Makhachev, it's Arnold Allen. But, his wins, I don't know. I like him. He's Izzy's teammate. He's a dog. He likes to fight. He's tough as nails. He's crazy. But, so this one is kind of a toss-up too. Jalen Turner, he's He's pretty good. His level of competition isn't the same as Dan Hooker's. So that'll be an interesting fight too. I don't really have a prediction for you on that one yet. Bo Nickel and Trishan Gore. I'm not even going to say anything about that. Bo Nickel is up and coming. He was the Contender Series fight winner. So he's been doing really well. He had some controversy in one of his fights. I think there was something about like an eye poke or something. But he's really good. He's super, super good. Yeah. And he's really good on the ground. I think he even like had a submission match versus well, I'm not going to talk about it. So anyway, he's just very good. Very good. Robbie Lawler versus Nico Price. Interesting. I don't think Robbie Lawler should be fighting anymore. This man has been in way too many wars, and I think he needs to hang it up. I worry about him because if you know Robbie Lawler, he's been in the UFC for a very, very long time, and he's been hit a lot. I worry about his health at this point. Nico Price, whatever. He's fine. He's good. This could be potentially a retirement fight for Robbie. Nico Price has an okay name. Never really anything big. Traded wins and losses, as you can see here. Fought a bunch of top guys, dangerous guys. So this could be a potential retirement fight for Robbie Lawler. He might call it quits after this one, win or lose, win, loss, or draw, whatever. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I'm going to go over for this one. So let's go to the next one. So this is the end of the month now. UFC 291, July 29th. Poirier versus Gaethje 2. Super interesting fight. I think Dustin Poirier wins this again. He's kind of one of those guys I feel bad for because it's like, I mean, he beat him once already. He's just a more technical, crisp fighter. So yeah, he's kind of like I would say he similar in fight record to Donald Cerrone. Like he gets it done until it's like a big fight or until it's, like a championship fight. And that's easy for me to say here as a armchair quarterback, but so here's his loss against Charles Oliveira, his loss against Khabib Nurmagomedov, both having the belts, but everybody else he beats, like he beat Max Holloway, crazy, Justin Gaethje, Anthony Pettis, like, Conor McGregor twice, Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler, like he's beat a bunch of tough guys. I like Dustin Poirier a lot. This fight, and I like Justin Gaethje too. And it sucks because one of these guys is gonna get knocked down, and unfortunately, I think it might be Justin Gaethje again, unless he fights super technical. But I don't know if he will. Because Poirier, he knows how to draw you in and make it a slugfest, which Justin Gaethje loves to do, but Dustin Poirier will keep it technical. This is a tough fight. I think Dustin Poirier wins again, but I would like to see Justin win because I would like to see Justin go on and challenge Islam Makhachev for the belt. He came up short against Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think Justin Gaethje can beat Islam Makhachev. I do. Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep going. Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. So Alex Pereira, after losing to Izzy Adesanya, went up to light heavyweight. This is his first fight at light heavyweight, which is very funny because he's fighting Jan Blachowicz, who beat Izzy Adesanya. So, yeah, very funny. So now, Alex Pereira is coming up to test the waters, and he's going against the first light heavyweight dude who beat Izzy. It's funny because it's like all the memes and everything, where Izzy won something or is really good at something, and then Pereira comes in and is like, I'm going to do it too. So it's just funny. But this one's interesting. Dangerous for Pereira because Jan Blachowicz has power. Lots and lots of power. Alex Pereira does have power as well, obviously, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I think Alex Pereira is a little bit more technical, but he really got sloppy against Izzy, so it's going to be interesting to see how he comes into this fight. If he comes in, I don't think he's going to come in the same with Izzy. I think he was sloppy in the Izzy fight because he was cocky and he already had beaten him, 3 times. So I think he wasn't as cautious and crisp as he normally would be. So that's interesting. But Jan is big and strong, and Jan handled Izzy. So I think he could handle Alex also. Alex's wrestling is not good. Obviously, he's a kickboxer. So, and Izzy was able in their first UFC fight to take him down and hold him down for a little bit. So Jan Blachowicz that's there for him all day, I think. So that's a tough fight. I could see Jan winning this one. Paulo Costa versus Ikram Aliskerov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Another Dagestani fighter, up-and-comer. This one's interesting too. And this one I think is... Okay, so the last fight I was talking about with Robert Whittaker versus Dricus. So I think this is the backup. And so if Dricus wins, Dricus Duplessis wins, I think he gets a title shot. And if he loses, I think the UFC is banking on Paulo Costa to win. Maybe to give him a second shot because it would be his second time fighting Izzy. So Robert Whittaker already fought Izzy twice. Could be there is drama behind that. That could be, I don't know. Or it could just be building up Ikram. So who knows? But this is a weird fight for me. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird fight for me. I get it, but I kind of don't. So, because Paulo Costa is a bigger name. If you look at, see, he's new to the UFC. He has one fight in the UFC besides a Contender Series. Well, that's not the UFC, but it's Dana White's Contender Series. So, I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting one. I'm not going to make a call on that yet until we get closer. I just don't know the purpose of that one because Paulo Costa is a big name. He's fought for the belt. He's fighting a guy with one fight in the UFC. So, interesting to see. They might be trying to boost him up to get him to fight Izzy sooner than later because, like I said, Izzy has run out of people to fight. So, that could be it. Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Sad news. Tony Ferguson was in a car accident recently. I believe he's taken into custody by police because it was like a DUI or something, or he was drunk or something. Sad news. I worry about Tony Ferguson also. He's been a veteran of the sport. He's wild and crazy. Even if he wasn't a fighter, I think he'd be like the wild and crazy guy. But, with the wars he's been in, CTE and all that stuff, yeah, I worry about the end of his career. I see him as like kind of another Diego Sanchez, just slowly losing the marbles. And it's a shame because he was an awesome fighter, the Boogeyman. Bobby Green, I think this is a good fight. This is a good matchup because they're both kind of like in the middle right now. Tony Ferguson had a fall from grace. He was top contender, and then, some of his recent losses. 5 in a row. Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira. Yeah. His last win was in 2019. So, Yeah, that's super sad. Wow. I didn't even realize it was that bad. Okay. So yeah, he's fighting Bobby Green. Bobby Green is, you know, he's good. He's solid. He's an all-around solid fighter. He doesn't have the best record either. But, he's fought some tough opponents. I think this is oddly enough, I think this is an appropriate fight. I don't know who wins this one. Yeah, I'll get back to it. Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland. I have a big mouth winning this. Kevin Holland. He talks a lot. That's what a lot of people like about him. Have him winning this one. Yeah. Michael Chiesa is good. Good on the ground, decent everywhere, but again, he's just never broken through to the top. When he gets close, he gets these losses. So, yeah, I don't know. I have Kevin Holland winning this just because I think he's a little bit more dynamic. I think Michael Chiesa is a little bit more standard, consistent, but Kevin Holland is a super creative fighter, and he has knockout power from all kinds of weird angles. He can, he knocked out, he knocked out Jacare on the ground, like when he was on his back, or in guard, basically. So on his back, swing punches at Ronaldo, Jacare up and knocked him out. He's good. He's really good. He has power, so I like that one. Stephen Thompson, Wonderboy, versus Michael Pereira. That's an interesting one, too. I would like to see Stephen Thompson win, and I think he can, although... Is it Michel Pereira? I don't know. But Pereira is a wild striker, dynamic striker. Again, also very crazy, unorthodox. Does lots of high risk, high reward stuff. He has a lot of decisions here in the split, but I don't know. I think Stephen Thompson can do it because he's elusive. He's also weird. He fights a karate style, so he's not going to just engage randomly. I think Stephen Thompson's hardest, tests have always been versus wrestlers, strong wrestlers, people that can grab him, put him on the ground, grind him out. I think that's his problem. So I think he can win this fight. Derek Lewis versus Marco Rogerio de Lima. I would like to see Derek Lewis win. This one is not super interesting for the heavyweight division. Derek Lewis, more than Marco says, like fallen off, just out of contenders, status. Not like as a fighter, this man is dangerous. He has 3 losses, granted, but it's like these huge guys that hit super hard. So, but he's interesting. He's a super interesting fighter. He's fun. Yeah. CJ, I'm not going to go over the last one. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Ooh, the lighting's weird. I chose different lighting because, like I said, I'm not feeling well. That was a little longer than I wanted to do, but yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts about the fight card. What do you guys think? If you haven't subscribed, please do. Comment, like, share the videos. I'm slowly climbing. I'm up to 77 subscribers. It kind of goes up and down, though. Sometimes, like, I feel like I say that, and then, like, I lose a subscriber or two, and then a couple weeks later, I'll, like, gain a couple, depending on the video I post. But I'm trying to hit 100 by the end of the year, and I'm close. I'm super close. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. I do UFC discussion. I do video game stuff. Right now I'm playing... I'm waiting for Diablo 4 to come out, but I do play... I play like Genshin Impact. I got to get back into Hogwarts Legacy, which I might be doing today. I do World of Warcraft Hardcore. And next month I'm going to be redoing, or it's going to be season 2 of Project Zomboid, so stick around for that. That should be fun. But I got a lot of stuff on the horizon. So yeah, stay tuned, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Peace.